Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to the second winter 2020-21 season weather roundup. So here we go again, it's another winter video. This time we're looking at the long range models. We're going to get 15, can you believe it, 15 long range models together. And we're going to see what they are all showing for winter of 2020-21 for only the second time this season. And yeah, I shall get on with the second winter 2020-21 season model roundup for you very shortly. Just say that we are starting this off as a premiere on YouTube. As soon as the premiere is complete, video will be placed on winter updates page at GavsWeatherVids.com, and there'll be a written summary that goes with it as well. Video will also be on the homepage at GavsWeatherVids.com for the rest of today, Saturday. So you'll be able to watch it on YouTube, you'll be able to watch it on winter updates page, written summary, you'll be able to watch it on homepage. It will be very, very available as soon as this premiere is finished on YouTube. So I shall get on with all of the long range models for you in a moment. Just say a big thank you to Richard Trott for the winter updates gift. Thank you so much, Richard, for this year's winter 2020-21 updates gift. We've got the 9th winter update coming up for you tomorrow. 9th winter update part 1 tomorrow on Sunday, and then part 2 will be released on Monday. There's another premiere as well tomorrow, which will be the first Christmas update. Yes, the Christmas countdown begins again for another year tomorrow, and we'll be premiering that video again on YouTube at 2 PM tomorrow afternoon. As well as all of that, there'll be a live stream tomorrow as well. So yeah, epic weekend of content. I hope you are enjoying all of the content at the moment on the channel. Please give us a like on the video, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, and don't forget to tell your friends about GavsWeatherVids. Thank you so much everybody for doing that. Right, so let's get on with the second winter 2020-21 season model roundup, see what these long range models are showing, shall we? We're going to begin with CanSips. So we're beginning with a mean cell pressure anomaly from CanSips via tropicaltidbits.com. Remember, the general rule of thumb with all of these charts is that blue will be extrapolating to either high pressure or like above average heights, which again is high pressure. No, blue will be extrapolating to below average heights. Oh dear, I've messed that up, haven't I? Oh dear. Should I stop it or should I? I'll carry on. Okay, it'll be a very funny moment in the premiere, won't it? Right. Blue is extrapolating. I'm very sorry. Blue, let's do it all over again. Blue is going to be extrapolating to either low pressure or below average heights. With yellow, orange, red extrapolating to either high pressure or above average heights. That's a general rule of thumb with all of these charts. I am so sorry, everyone. I'm going to be professional now. So this is the CanSips mean sea level pressure anomaly for winter 2020-21. So this is it. Right, okay, I've got myself under control. Right, here we go then. So we basically it's forecasting high pressure to be sitting to the west of the country with low pressure up to the north, and the jet stream is pushed northwards. You'd expect that to be a relatively mild and anticyclonic westerly general winter. Temperature anomalies with CanSips are being forecast to be, let's get rid of that, being forecast to be slightly milder than average, slightly milder than average temperatures. And precipitation anomalies really on the drier than average side as well. That's because there's a big ridge of high pressure sitting just to our west. So generally, it's high pressure dominated. It's westerly jet streams to our north, or miles over jet, and we're milder than average with CanSips. This is the IRI multi-model probability forecast for temperature for December, January, February, winter 2020-21. This, of course, is coming from International Research Institute for Climate and Society, part of Earth Institute, and also Columbia University. So generally probability is favouring like average temperatures this winter or no signal for the UK and Western Europe. Notice it is favouring a slightly cooler than average winter though through like central and some eastern parts of Europe, which is relatively unusual on these charts. A slightly milder than average winter is being favoured for Scandinavia. Overall, for these charts, which do tend to favour above average temperatures a lot of the time, for these charts, that actually looks a rather coolish sort of temperature probability to me, really. The precipitation probability for December, January, February, winter 2021 looks like that. So overall, going rather milder than average for northern and western parts of Europe. Drier than average, I should say, for northern and western parts of Europe. I'm so sorry, everybody. It's been a very, very long day. I'm recording this on Wednesday. I've been live streaming and whatnot, so I am pretty tired. So just please bear with me on this. So a drier than average winter probability, and also the probability favouring average temperatures or no signal from IRI. Then we look at the NWME suite of models for temperature and precipitation. So we start off with the GEM. This is a Canadian model. This is the Canadian GM. The Canadian GEM showing mild average temperatures for this winter. We can't show you mean solar pressure or 500 millibar heights with this, but generally it looks like the GM going for a mild and average winter for much of North and West Europe and also many parts of North America as well. So the GEM definitely looks mild and average for this winter. The precipitation anomaly looks like that, close to or possibly ever so slightly above average. Not a particularly big signal, but I think the GM is possibly going for a milder and also slightly wetter than average winter. This is NASA. This is the NASA model, GOS5V2. Temperature anomaly is not as above average with this one, so just favouring average to slightly above, but not a particularly big deviation. Scandinavia does look significantly milder and actually a very, very mild, or you could say quite warm winter coming up for most parts of America, if NASA is right. Precipitation from NASA looks like that. Again, just favouring a slightly drier than average winter. So maybe slightly drier and slightly milder than average winter with NASA. This is NCAR, again another model from the suite at the NWME suite of models. This one always looks cold. I don't know anything about this model at all. I don't know how reliable it is or anything like that, but it always seems to look colder than like NASA or GM and whatnot. So obviously this is going for a cold winter, not just for the UK, but for most of the North Atlantic. It does look as though the North Atlantic is really plunged into like the freezer there. Many parts of Scandinavia looking cold as well. Mild winter for northern and eastern America. I'm not sure what sort of pattern would deliver like that sort of cold weather in the North Atlantic, but yeah, that's a current average winter. That's the first one, I suppose, with the temperature anomaly actually showing a colder than average winter. Also looks rather wetter than average as well, with above average rainfall. Again, that rainfall above average generally to the north and west of the UK, so it does look as though this will be a rather Atlantic driven sort of winter with low pressure. It is a bit drier than average to the south of Greenland, so there might be some blocking up there, but sort of forcing the jet stream perhaps on the northwest, southeastern line. That's about all I could sort of envisage about why it would be a colder than average winter when it's also an unsettled winter. But obviously, if it did come off with above average rainfall, above average precipitation, with cold and average temperatures, you would expect quite a snowy winter. Right, this is Patal-Peng's analogue for the winter of 2020-21. So this is a different way of forecast. This is not model-based. This is an analogue based on sea surface temperature anomalies. So Patal-Peng is looking, in this instance, Patal-Peng is looking at sea surface temperature anomalies across the world in September 2020. And then looking at past years, had a similar sea surface temperature anomaly. And then from that creates an analogues-based forecast going forwards. So the 200 millibar height anomaly from Precipitation for winter of 2020-21 has above average heights, higher pressure in the North Atlantic and extending to some degree to the south of Greenland. The wind is like coming in from a northwesterly direction with that. So there is low pressure to our south as well. It's not a classic cold winter pattern because we would have some influence from the jet stream. The high pressure really needs to be sat up there. And that's where it goes actually late to winter. I won't show you the analog chart, but January, February, March it does actually take high pressure properly up to Greenland. So it could suggest that like early winter is a little bit more Atlantic driven, maybe a little bit more westerly, and then over time this higher pressure is pushing northwards. The mid-Atlantic ridge pushes northwards to Greenland over time. So over time I think Precipitation analogs are suggesting like a winter that gets colder as it goes on. As it is, that would be enough certainly to produce cold snaps, I think, with a ridge sitting in the North Atlantic to the south of Greenland. Temperature anomalies are averaged to ever so slightly above average, so not going to be a particularly cold winter for us. It's a bit cold on average for Spain and central parts of Europe. However, I would put that down as like a colder winter personally, based on the 200 millibar height anomaly. The precipitation anomaly looks like that's a drier than average winter for most parts of Western Europe as well. So yeah, I think at the very least we will get cold snaps with Precipitation analogs, and later in the winter we do get genuine northern blocking setting up towards Greenland. CFS-V2, 700 millibar height anomaly looks like this. So going for above average heights, high pressure to be to our south, below average heights, low pressure up to the north. Winds are going westerly. So zonal Atlantic driven winter forecast now from CFS V2. So with west southwesterlies unleashed, the CFS is back to its old tricks again, showing significantly above average temperatures for winter 2020-21 through all parts of Europe, really, and particularly warm for northern and northeastern parts of Europe, but all areas with above average temperatures this winter, based on the CFS-V2, and a rather wet winter as well for northern and western Europe. Not a surprise with the jet stream doing something like that, that we take all of the low pressure into the north and the west of Europe. So yeah, the northwest Europe looking western average, southern Europe looking rather dry on average, and so yes, Atlantic driven, zonal and westerly with the CFS V2. ECMWF mean sea level pressure anomaly now. So this is for winter 2020-21, and we have high pressure now pulled out into mid-Atlantic and also extending up towards Greenland, some degree as well. Trough low pressure is over Scandinavia. Winds look like they're set on a northwest-southeast alignment along with the jet stream as well. So again, it's a little similar to Precipitation analog, really. Again, you would suspect that that could produce at very least cold snaps due to like the high pressure in the North Atlantic, and some degree going up towards some parts of Greenland as well. Trough low pressure in Scandinavia. So you think at times at the very least we get like northerly interludes with that, wouldn't you? Northwesterly, southeast alignment to jet stream as well should pull in cold air on that side of areas of low pressure digging in from the northwest. And so at very least you would think that would be conducive to colder snaps. Certainly nothing like we had last winter with the polar vortex of doom and westerlies, you know, on steroids. Certainly nothing like that. Temperature anomaly from ECMWF for winter 2020-21 looks a bit cold out in the North Atlantic, near normal really through most parts of West Europe. The warmest anomalies to average across the north and the east of Europe. A rather cooler winter, particularly in comparison to last year from the ECMWF. Right, and the precipitation anomaly from ECMWF for December, January, February is looking like this. So no particular signal really for rainfall from the ECM. We move on to the Copernicus suite of models next. So this is same idea to NME, really, except that's North American, this is European. So Copernicus gets together several models, does now include the JMA, by the way. Actually, you can see more information from the JMA at Copernicus than you can at the JMA's own website, which does seem rather strange and rather bizarre, but anyway, there we go. I shall show you the JMA a little bit later on. We start with Meteo France. So this is the mean sail pressure anomaly for winter 2021 from Meteo France, going for a ridge in the Atlantic and low pressure over Greenland, trying to bring in like a westerly flow, but there is also higher pressure up to our east and northeast, which is probably trying to bring in an easterly flow. So maybe hinting a little bit of a battleground UK type scenario there between westerlies and possibly easterlies. The temperature anomaly from Meteo France for the winter 2020-21 is looking like this. So near normal temperatures, really, near normal temperatures with Meteo France. No signal, perhaps. And again, not much of a signal for precipitation either. So Meteo France is looking really, really weak for both its temperature and precipitation anomaly for this winter for much of Northern Europe. DWD, mean sail pressure anomaly looks like that. So going for high pressure to be centred over top of the UK and West Europe, low pressure up to the north, jet streams push north, as that's an anticyclonic winter, quite obviously. A lot of high pressure in control. Under the high pressure, it could be quite cold, but it's not a particularly conducive scenario to very cold weather, because jet stream is actually pushing north, so they are on the mild side of the jet stream. But nevertheless, it will probably be quite a cold, frosty type pattern. The temperature anomaly is, again, very close to average, no particular signal. The rainfall anomaly does look driving average, which of course you'd expect with high pressure centred right over top of the country. Again, a lot of these model outputs looking very, very different to last winter. I mean, we've got the CFS that is going for like rampant westerlies and zonality, but most of these models are looking really, significantly different in terms of the pattern. And at the very least, like drier and colder from frost and that sort of thing. Having said that, the CMCC actually looks rather zonal, with low pressure in the northern latitudes and the high pressure through the middle of the Atlantic. Quite a strong westerly flow as well. So yes, that one does look generally mild and Atlantic driven. Although temperature anomaly with the CMCC is actually one of the cooler ones, which is a little bit below average, just to our west, with like near normal or no signal temperatures for the UK and for Western Europe. It also looks a little bit more unsettled, this one, slightly above average rainfall, especially so to our north. This is JMA, so this mean sail pressure anomaly for the JMA. Let's just push this back because we're on the wrong anomaly. We want to look at December, January, February. This is it, mean sail pressure anomaly for December, January, February from the JMA, going for a mid-Atlantic ridge extending up towards Greenland. Again, similar in some ways to Ptolemaeus analog and also to the ECMD, probably sending the jet stream on a northwest-southeast line. There's a little bit of high pressure up towards Scandinavia, but I think overall this could be quite a chilly winter. Again, probably not a classic. Probably you would get some influence from westerlies at times, but I certainly think it could be enough to produce like cold northerly outbreaks and cold interludes. And it's a very, very different pattern to what we had last winter, quite obviously. The temperature anomaly from the JMA. Again, so many of these models don't have much of a signal, but many of them are going for like colder than average, or slightly colder than average temperatures in the North Atlantic. And for much of Northern Europe, they just don't have all that much of a signal. But very often when these models have no signal or they are, average, because these models tend to favour above average temperatures a lot of the time, when you don't get above average temperatures, when you get anything different to above average, say near normal or no signal, that is very often, I think, like the model actually going on the rather colder side. I mean, quite honestly, what's happening over North America here, I mean, that is clearly a milder than average signal. Quite obviously for most of Northern America, but this area here, I mean, there's a vast area of Eurasia that the model does not have any signal for at all. And I think within some of that area anyway, you would expect colder than average temperature anomalies, but the model doesn't see it. But on the other hand, the model is not seeing like rampant warmth for Northern and Eastern Europe. So I would put, if anyone's keeping account, I know in the Premiere, with live chat, some of you may be like keeping account, I would put that one towards the colder side of things for this winter, although the anomaly does not show colder than average. Precipitation anomalies, again, no signal with the JMA through most parts of Northern Europe, but I think with that mean sea pressure anomaly does look quite interesting. As you saw it, might as well show you January, February, March, and again, it just suggests that this mid-Atlantic ridge goes on, continues to extend up to southern Greenland, low pressure to the north, again, probably sending a jet stream on a northwest to southeast alignment later in the winter. This is Jams Tech. This is the Syntex F model. Again, from Japan, but it is different to the JMA. This one is going for colder than average temperatures. Cold than average temperatures for the UK and much of Northern Europe. And again, interestingly, out into North Atlantic as well. JMA tends to, or in the past, the JMA tended to favour colder than average temperatures a lot of the time. However, they have ironed that out over the past few months. They sort of upgraded the model, changed the model a little bit, and so it does not favour colder than average temperatures all the time like it used to. So that is quite unusual for this upgraded version of the JMA actually to be going for below average temperatures during the winter of 2020-21. Precipitation anomalies also suggesting quite a dry winter coming up, a drier than average winter being forecast there from the JMA. Generally, things looking drier to the north of the UK, so you would think there's probably going to be some high pressure up here, but maybe pulling in the wind from the east. There's low pressure down towards Spain and the Med as well, so that may be pulling in winds from the east with Jams Tech. Woo! Right, okay, we're nearly at the end now. This is the penultimate model. This is the Beijing Climate Center. This is Beijing Climate Center model, 500 millibar height anomaly from Beijing Climate Center winter 2020-21. Let's have a look at this one then. Going for northern blocking. All of this red within the northern latitudes is high pressure within the northern latitudes. Going for low pressure to our south. You would think this would be bringing in the wind from the east, really. If there's trough low pressure to the south, high pressure to the north, you would think we are probably bringing in the winds from the east. That certainly looks like a pattern that could produce a cold winter. The temperature anomaly from the Beijing Climate Center is only sort of average, a little bit cold average out to our west, but around average, around normal with the temperature anomaly. Again, though, anything's right as well as it go for average temperatures. That's probably quite suggestive of quite a cold season, really, and a drier than average winter coming up as well. So I would put that down again within the cold camp, really. I think that could be a colder winter, most definitely. For the very least, cold snaps with that, and possibly quite a prolonged cold winter, because that does look like really quite extensive northern blocking that we've got there in the northern latitudes. And then finally, we've got the UK Met's Glow C5. So just round off with that one. This one going for a higher pressure to be to our south and southeast. Mean cell pressure only for winter 2021, by the way. Higher pressure to be to our south and southeast. Lower pressure is up to the north. Jet streams being pushed northwards as well. It looks like it's Atlantic driven, and it looks like it will be mild, although we are closer to higher pressure than we have been with this model in the past. It's going for above average temperatures through most parts of the northern hemisphere, actually, but definitely through most parts of like northern and western Europe. And it's going for a rather wetter than average winter due to the fact that we are probably having quite a significant influence from a jet stream. So above average rainfall and above average temperatures with the UK Met Office model to finish off this second winter 2020 update. And that's because we're bringing in west or south westerly winds. Okay, so that's it then. That is the second winter 2020-21 season model roundup done. And just got through 15 long-range models there. And what did we make of them? I think very similar to what we had in the last update, really, which is, you know, the first season model roundup that we did at the end of September. I think the general takeaway from this is that, you know, a lot of these models are looking very different to last winter. So it has still got one or two, particularly notably the CFS, which is going for this rampant westerling Atlantic-driven zonal type pattern. So we've got one or two, but are still very westerly, very Atlantic-driven, very zonal. But I think generally a lot of these models are going for a rather different pattern for this winter. Many of them look quite anti-cyclonic, which would suggest a drier winter than particularly last winter, which was very, very wet. So it would suggest a drier winter with a lot of these models. And I think quite a few of them are looking colder as well, although there aren't all that many going actually for cold and average temperatures. You do, with that, have to interpret a lot of these large models. And I think there are several there that at the very least are conducive to cold snaps, if not an outright cold winter. And obviously over past couple of winters have been absolutely devoid of any cold weather whatsoever, really, especially last winter, which was extremely mild. So overall quite an interesting update, I think, for anyone who wants a colder winter, not necessarily a cold winter, but for anybody who wants a colder winter, with more cold snaps than we've had for the past couple of winters, and a little bit more in way of snow than we've had for the past couple of winters. I think this is quite an interesting update. Please let me know in the live chat while you're watching the premiere, and also in the comments if you're watching the video after the premiere, what you think about my thesis on that. We'll do it all over again at the end of November. Of course, that will be the third and final seasonal roundup for winter 2020-21. And then we've got several more winter updates to do. And then on Wednesday, the 2nd of December, we will release the GavsWeatherVids winter 2020-21 forecast. For this second season one roundup, winter 2020-21. That's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. We shall be premiering our Christmas update number 1 tomorrow at 2 PM. So I'll see you then. Either or after that, there's going to be a live stream as well at 6 PM. So I shall see you in the live chat for either of those. And don't get the 9th winter 2020-21 update, which will be released at 10 AM tomorrow morning on Sunday morning. For this video, though, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.